after this session, you can come here to the Zoom meeting. I'll share the Zoom meeting link in the YT YouTube comment section as well, because I'll keep the YouTube live stream short, so the people who are just joining afterwards don't get bored. Okay, so here you go. Today's meeting agenda is creative writing, its problem, solutions, and if we can go with some resources, or if I offer any resources to you guys. And here you go. Before I start talking about today's topic, let me quickly tell you about myself, because I can see many of you are new here to my channel and to this workshop as well. I have been uploading many videos about creative writing, about jolly phonics, jolly grammar, and you can just name it. Any topic related to kids education, you will find that on my channel. But today's meeting is about creative writing. However, a quick introduction is needed. So I'm Hira Tariq, a former classroom teacher, a Montessori directress by profession. This was the beginning of my career. I started my career with the Montessori teachers training. After that, I worked in schools in Pakistan, in Oman, in UAE. I'm also a TESOL and TEFL certified teacher, trained in Jolly Phonics and Jolly Grammar. These are some UK-based programs to teach phonics and grammar to kids in multisensory ways. As well as I have taken trainings for creative writing from many teachers, especially I would like to name the VCOP training, VCOP, which is an Australian based curriculum to teach creative writing in multisensory ways to kids. I am a great advocate for the multisensory methods of teaching kids, because we all are differentiated learners, and when it comes to kids, we need to be very careful about their differentiation. If they are visual learners, if they are kinesthetic learners, or auditory learners, and for all these things, we need to learn how to teach in multisensory ways to those kids. Okay. Moreover, recently I have got an ISO accreditation from um, their website. It's a globally recognized thing. If you want to find me, you can go to their website and you can search for homeschooling with Hira, and you'll see me there. So I can now provide you with the certificates for any trainings that I'm offering. Okay. Now let's quickly jump on to today's topic. I kept today's workshop or webinar just to talk about some of the problems or the questions that I keep on receiving, that even after receiving the teachers training courses for creative writing, teachers still struggle to teach creative writing. And for those who have just not taking any training, what are the steps to begin with? So if you are any of them, be with me to the end of this session, and inshallah, in the coming few minutes, I will give you the answer to all these questions. If you are struggling, why you are struggling, if you want to start, how to start. Okay, so there you go. First of all, let's have a quick check about this thing. If you know what is creative writing, or if I just give you the example first, or the short definition, and then I'll ask you if you can come up with your ideas. Creative writing is nothing but, it refers to any original work created from one's imagination without copying from other sources. For example, if I give you a task to write a sentence about this tiger, I will count to 15. Please type in the comments box or in the chat box on Zoom and write a simple sentence, a complex sentence, whatever type of sentence you want about this tiger. Your time begins now. To the count of 15, finish your sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm waiting for your messages on YouTube and in Zoom, on Zoom as well. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, not 16. It was the count to 50. Thank you so much. Wonderful. The time is up. And I can see many sentences written in the Zoom chat box. Thank you so much for writing some of the sentence. I will be reading some of them. Um, Tiger is the jungle animal. Tiger is a wild animal. A tiger walking majestically. A tiger is walking. The verb is missing. A tiger is walking majestically. It's a tiger and it's a wild animal. A ferocious tiger is ready to attack his prey. Well done. This tiger is watching me with an angry face. Roar. A roaring tiger. Tiger is a wild animal. Thank you so much. So, excellent sentences. Thank you so much. But let me share with you my sentence now. Check this out. Prowling silently. A terrifying tiger targeted a tortoise but tripped over a twig and missed its prey. Whatever you guys wrote was your creativity. Whatever knowledge you have from your previous knowledge, you wrote that sentence. But since I have a little edge and I know how to begin the sentences differently, so I use here ing starter. I also use a wow word. Wow words are some uh, unusual word, or you can say soft words, fancy words that we can include in our writing when if we want to impress our reader or if we want to catch their attention. So prowling silently, affronted adverbial. A terrifying tiger targeted a tortoise. You can you see it? Can you hear this repeated sound? This is called alliteration. It's a literary device. But tripped over a twig, again the continuation of the sound, and missed its prey. So, just with the help of my little knowledge, I wrote about the same tiger, but I think that you would say that my sentence is better than yours. I'm not boasting, but because I have learned this thing, I can do this. You can also do if you learn it. You can also teach this to your kids if you learn it. So the only thing that we have to learn things to teach further, we have to learn things to improve ourselves. And that's why we are here. And I really appreciate your presence. It's awesome that you are here because you want to learn something to help your kids or to help yourself. Now, let's talk a little about this thing. If you are a teacher, if you have already taken trainings, if you are a parent and have already taken trainings, but still you struggle, what are the reasons? Let me just tell you a very quick thing for this. If you have a target now, you have to follow some steps to reach to that target. You cannot jump from the level from zero level to the highest level. If you are struggling even after taking trainings, my dear, you must not be following the steps to proceed. Please consider this. I'm not criticizing you, but think about it. Are you following the steps that your trainer has taught you, or your trainer has literally taught you the steps or not? These are the two things. Maybe you have taken trainings for somewhere, but you do not know the steps, how to go to the target thingy, right? For example, if you want your kids to write a story, but you haven't given them enough vocabulary, you haven't taught them sentence structure or sentence writing properly, you haven't taught them how to plan the story, and in the very first class or without teaching all this stuff, you are asking them to write a story, how on earth can you ask those kids to write a story? I just ask you to write a single sentence, but how many of you dare to do that? We are scared of writing. We are scared of making mistakes. So, how can we expect from those little souls to come up uh, with a complete story right from the beginning of their writing career or writing classes? It's something called unrealistic expectations. So, do not expect something which is surreal, which is unrealistic. Rather than, what you have to do, you have to follow some steps, you have to follow some plan to take them to the level which you want them to achieve. Okay, so for Creative writing, we need a systematic approach to achieve our goals. Expecting desired results from random actions is unrealistic. Consider this for the teachers who have also already taken trainings, and it is a notice for the teachers who are going to take the training. Okay. Now, let me introduce you to someone who has worked on this thing to find out a system for creative writing, to develop creative writing skill, or to teach kids creative writing. She is a teacher, Rose Wilson. She is a UK teacher with over 55 years of experience. What she did in the space of 9 years, she assessed 22,000 pieces of writing, and she found out the weaknesses or the areas for improvement or the struggles of our young writers. She also set the criterion scale for assessment of writing. It's not something random that you can just simply say that the writing is good, the writing is bad. You need to tell if something is good, why it is good, and if something is bad, why it is bad. There should be a criterion scale for assessment, right? And after researching for 9 years and reading or assessing 22,000 pieces of writing of the native and non-native kids, she found out that there are certain points which children lack in their writing, or which are the reasons for low writing standards. First of them is vocabulary. They are short of vocabulary. Okay, even if they are native kids, because she's from UK, so she must be doing the research there. But even the native kids, even I can ad- uh, uh, say this, that I also teach native kids in the sense that they live in UK, they are born in UK, they are born in US, but English to them is kind of their first language. Even after that, when it comes to writing, their vocabulary is not that much developed that they can write a good piece. Okay. Connectors are missing in writing. When they are writing sentences, they just end them abruptly or with a flat full stop. There isn't any connection between the two sentences. There isn't any connection between the two ideas. So connectors or connections are missing. They jump over ideas and they skip over things. So these connectors were bringing, the lack of connectors were bringing their creativity or writing standards low. Openers, as I told you, many of you have written sentences for the tiger, but most of you started your sentences with the or a. The tiger, a tiger, the tiger, a tiger, isn't it? Check the chat box and check your things. And how did I open? I started it with the word prowling because I knew that these two sentence opener are exhausted. They are the most boring sentence openers. So we are not supposed to use them when it's come to creativity. Punctuations are also something which usually are overlooked or they are missing from our writing. Sentence structure. We simply teach children the simple sentences, just it should have a subject, then we have a verb and finish. Sometimes it has an object, but usually it just finish. We do not teach them how to expand their sentences, how to join their sentences to make them complex or compound, or complex compound, both of them together. Okay, so all these things were missing in those 22,000 writing pieces that Rose Wilson assessed. And then she came up with the idea that we should work on these things before we take our children to writing stories or essays or poems or whatsoever, whichever genre. Okay, so now a little further for the criterion scale. Before, I was about to say something else, but I just saw the slide, so I need to jump back on criterion scale. So about the criterion scale, I just use some of the words that saying that you are so good, you are fair, you are excellent, or you got 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100. These type of marking is not the marking for creative writing. We need to learn how to mark our kids' work when it comes to creative writing. It is something that we call even WWW and even better if. WWW means what worked well. So if a child has submitted a piece of writing or any essay or a story, you have to tell him that what worked well in his writing. And EBI, which means you will tell him that even better if, what he can improve, what are the weaknesses and strengths of his writing. This is how we mark it, and then we set a goal for him. Next time, Baba, you have to be careful about this and consider adding or removing this thing from your writing. So the whole criterion scale is also there in the system which Ross Wilson has given us. Moving forward, I have given you so much information. Okay, this, that, but how to learn this all, how to teach this all? To teach this, obviously, we need to learn from scratch, because unfortunately, if we talk about our schooling system, especially in the uh, Asian countries or the South Asian countries, India, Pakistan, or even in the Middle East, we do not have any systematic approach of teaching creative writing, but this is a buzzword now. Creative writing is a buzzword. Every school, every institute is talking about creative writing, but without any system. So after lots and lots of research, I have come up with this thing that yeah, there is a system which we can follow and which really work. It works for me, so it will work for you. And this is the system which um, am talking about, VCOP. It was given by Ross Wilson, the UK teacher, but it was later transformed into a multisensory approach by Samantha. She is an Australian teacher, and now she is working on this system. Moreover, I'm not a trainer for VCOP, but yes, I train teachers for creative writing, including the VCOP techniques, because I have taken training for these things. And what I do here, I will help you by telling you the method which you can use in your online and offline classes, the games and activities that you can bring in your classes, as well as the resources for which you struggle. You know the things, but you don't have resources. You don't have time to create those resources. So I'm here to help you with. Before I tell you anything about the resources and share those with you, let me quickly tell you a very simple thing. It's not a hard nut to crack. It's not something, um, yani a mountain to climb. Just look at this thing. Let me share my screen with you, not the screen, look at, let me pin myself. Here you go. If you want to teach your kids some good sentence openers, okay, you don't have to just go for some resources. You don't need to buy them. This is called a chatterbox. Okay, we all used to play with this when we were kids. Write some colors name or whatever. What do you say, Pokemon's name or car's name, whatever your child like, and then ask him take a name. For example, let's take a color name which is blue. Okay, let me say BLUE, blue. Now after this, can you select one number? For example, he selects 6. Okay, this is number 6. Open number 6. What is written at the back? It's ding dong. So, dear child, you have to begin the sentence with the word ding dong. So, instead of giving them straightforward writing, bring some games in your class. Ding dong, the doorbell squealed, and my friends were there outside. Okay, so similarly, you can just keep giving them turns. Instead of you doing it, ask them to make or help them to make this chatterbox. Write different sentence openers. Obviously, you need to first teach them what are sentence openers, and then let them play the games. And once they say the sentence, afterwards they can write it as well. Remember, any creative writing method in any creative writing method, we must incorporate talking, because if they can talk about it, they can write about it. If they cannot talk, they cannot write. Okay, so this is a very important point. And with this, I'll just quickly tell you, show you some other resources that I can provide you if you are into it, if you want to buy those things. Here you are. These are my vocabulary slides. I was not selling them at all. I just made them for myself and for my videos. But on the request of many teachers that, ma'am, after doing the course, we are still struggling. So here is my support. Here are my resources. For example, if you just open the word for this one, said. Give me a second. It will take some time to open. So look at this, how the slides work. This is the word said. I hope you can see this. Said means to speak. Here is a paragraph written with the repetition of the word said, 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 said. After this, you will ask children that if they can come up with some synonyms or some other words to replace said with. If they can come up, use their words, then you can give them your words. And then here are sentences that I have added. For exclaimed, you cannot always use exclaim in the place of said. So I have written a sentence and written how to use it. Whispered can replace said, but in which way? So this is how you don't have to even think for the sentences and how to use those things. Everything is written with pictures and with the other, and at the end, they will change the whole paragraph, replace the word said with something else. So these are some vocabulary resources. Along with this, you will also get the vocabulary cards that I'll share in some time. Let's talk about connectors. We have different connectors. I also shared this video before, but for example, you want to teach them the connector and, but you don't know how to do this, or you simply know how to do this, but how to explain this to kids. So this is the little explanation written here. And after this, I have given you sentences that say the half part of the sentence and leave the other part, so the child will complete it. Okay, so connector slides are also here. If you struggle with lesson plans, I hope you can see my screen when I shift it. Can you? Give me a thumbs up on YT if you can, and write it in the chat box if you can as well. So for the lesson plan as well, if you just if you are just clueless how to start, where to start, here are the lesson plans. An icebreaker breaker activity, because as I told you, every creative writing program must be a talk based program. Okay, children cannot write anything if they cannot talk about it. So first come talk and then come writing. Okay, so don't forget this. So icebreaker activities are to give them some uh, confidence or encouragement to talk in the class with their peers. You will not be talking with them, they will be talking with their friends or something like this. For every lesson I have given an icebreaker, then teach what you have to teach, then how to model what you want them to do. Then this talk is what children have to do with their friends, and task is the final thing, that what they are expected to finish their class with. This is called the 40 model. 40 model is the model that we follow in our creative writing classes. The short model is written here, and I have elaborated everything in the complete lesson plan. It's called a spoon feeding if you just take it like this, because I shared this with some of my teachers and they literally said that, ma'am, this is something really nice even for the teachers who are just beginning with the things. So you can use these lesson plans. However, some of these resources are free, some of these resources are paid, because it has taken my days and nights to create this stuff, and I'm still working on this. Just wanted to share a little bit of my work with you. If you think you can work without it, there are many teachers who are working without it just after taking the trainings. So go for that. If you have any questions, I'm here. But let me just quickly wind up the YouTube presentation, and then I'll start taking your questions. These were the things I can provide you with. I have quickly shared them. And if you want a full-fledged training on how to use those resources, how to start your classes, and what are the steps to teach kids creative writing. So you can enroll in my 5 days level 1 of teachers training, creative writing teachers training workshop, which is on which is starting from the 7th of April, and it will end to 11th it will end on 11th of April. The time is 7 p.m. UAE, 8 p.m. Pakistan, and 8:30 p.m. India. If you are joining from the UK or somewhere else, please check Google. UK is 4 hour behind my time, so check with your Google or what do you say? There are so many apps to check the time. Just convert the time and see if you can manage to join. The classes will be live. I am not into providing recording of the classes, so only enroll if you can join the live classes. And with this, this is the end of our today's session on YouTube. If you want to join me on the Zoom for any questions, I'm sending you my Zoom link, and there you can ask your questions if you have any, or just say hi to me. Okay. Thank you so much for joining. That's all from my side on YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can leave the comments in the comments box. And if you want to join my WhatsApp groups or my sessions, free or paid, stay connected. Thank you so much. And now give me a second so I can just stop the broadcast on YouTube.